WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. It's been over a year and a half since former Webster County Sheriff Tim Mitchell was arrested and charged with 12 felonies. Now he's heading to prison. Mitchell appeared in court today after pleading guilty to 2 counts of embezzlement and 2 counts of trafficking stolen firearms. Judge Joseph Loper sentenced Mitchell to 15 years with 5 years additional probation for 1 count of embezzlement. He was also sentenced to 15 years per additional charge that will run concurrent to his first sentencing. His former chief investigator, Landon Griffin, also appeared in court after pleading guilty to 2 of his 6 charges. He will serve 10 years in prison and 5 years probation. All other charges against Mitchell and Griffin have been dropped. Both have been transported by the Department of Corrections to prison in Rankin County. Well, the arrests of Mitchell and Griffin left all of Webster County shaken up. Now residents are getting some closure. Our Riley Livingston was in Webster County today to find out about the mood of the community. She joins us in the studio with that story.
Andrea, reactions are mixed. Some people are happy about the sentencing while others are upset. But overall, people agree it's time to move on.
For months, the families of Tim Mitchell and Landon Griffin have been stuck in a state of limbo. Now with the ruling finalized, they can start the steps to moving forward.
I think Mr. Mitchell is ready to get on to this next phase of his life and move on, get this past him. So I think there's a little bit of relief in the family.
Well, it is the starting of a new chapter. Landon's taken responsibility for what he was accused of doing, and he's not willing to put that blame on anyone but him. So he has stepped up and said, I've done what I was accused of, and I'm ready to pay my price to society. And that's what began today. Webster
County residents have been in limbo as well. The sentencing was the news some people had been waiting for.
I mean, he done the crime, he deserved to do the time, just like anybody else would. Knowing about the law, he should abide by the rule.
While others are upset about the ruling.
I really like Tim. I've been knowing Tim just practically all my life. If you do wrong, you're going to have to serve your time. I mean, I understand that. But I just hate it.
With this behind them, many residents are looking ahead and hoping the county can change for the better.
I just hope the town will become a better town. Yes. Because I lost 2 sons in the town too, so I think the prison system, the law, and all of it should be something done about it all. It's just not they're dealing with Tim. It's a lot to be done.
One thing is for certain, in November, Webster County will elect a new sheriff, and many are hoping that means a new direction.
A Caledonia native is one of the people killed in a shooting at the South Haven Walmart this morning. The second victim, we're being told, is from Hernando. The DeSoto County coroner identified the victims as Walmart employees 40-year-old Anthony Brown and 38-year-old Brandon Gales. Brown, a graduate of Caledonia High School, was the manager of the South Haven Walmart. Gales was a department manager at the store. Witnesses say the alleged shooter was a former employee who had recently been fired from that store. A South Haven police officer was shot when he and another officer approached the suspect in the parking lot.
One of our officers was shot at this time. He was saved by his vest. Our officer is currently in the hospital recovering with his family. At this point, the suspect was engaged by another officer. He was struck twice by gunfire from our officer. He was taken into custody. He has been transported to Regional 1 Medical Center, where it is my understanding that he is currently in surgery.
The second officer was not injured. Now, that suspect has been identified as Martez Abram. He's charged with 2 counts of murder. The store is located near I-55 and Goodman Road, a busy section of South Haven. A teenager is injured after a brick crashes through his windshield in a suspected road rage incident. This happened Monday night when the teenager was driving on the Natchez Trace Parkway near the Highway 6 overpass in Tupelo. The young driver has a large cut on the top of his head but is expected to recover. The suspect is driving a tan or gray late 1990s or early 2000s sedan. If you have any information on the suspect or if you know anything about the incident, call the Natchez Trace emergency line. Police continue to search for the second person involved in a weekend shooting that injured a 14-year-old girl in Columbus. Police arrested 29-year-old Desi Harris Jr. and charged him with accessory after the fact of aggravated assault. Police say they were called to the 1500 block of 12th Avenue South Saturday after an argument between two people that ended in gunfire. One of those bullets struck a teenage girl who was not involved in the incident. She was struck in the ankle. She is expected to be okay. Police have not identified the second suspect they're looking for, but say he's still at large tonight. Time for a first look at our forecast. We'll turn it over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith?
Well, Andrea, we are still looking at some clouds left over from some showers and thunder showers west of Starkville. This is a live view from downtown Louisville looking back to the north. But from a radar perspective, this stuff is really falling apart. We still could see some additional showers that come out of that low complex and a few other blips up here north and west of Boonville. So still some downpours out there, most spots staying dry. And it looks like that will be the general rule here this evening. It's still pretty warm right now. Widespread 80s will give way to the 70s by 11 o'clock, rather, down to 74. And those rain chances will continue to dwindle once we get past sunset. Can't rule out one of those stragglers here later tonight. However, most spots stay dry. Lows around 70. I'm back with the full forecast, Andrea, in just a few minutes.
If you've ever lived in student housing or had a child who did, you know this time of year can be difficult. Most apartment complexes are going through what's known as turn, where units are made ready for new residents. Our Cash Matlock gets an inside look at this process. He joins us in the studio.
Andrea, it's a busy time of year for those in the student housing business. The folks at Helix Apartments in Starkville say they're in the middle of fixing up 450 different bed spaces, and they only have 2 weeks to do it. Employees at the Helix Starkville student apartments are busy. The end of July marks the beginning of Turn, a process each student housing complex must go through to prepare for new residents.
Student housing is a little different than what we call conventional housing. You know, we're going to have 450 people move out one day, and we're going to have 450 people move in 3 days. So
for the next 2 weeks, all 12 Helix employees will be working day in and day out to make sure the units are ready for move-in day.
once everyone moves out, we'll go and have our maintenance team punch the units, which means, you know, they're doing the maintenance work on them. They're fixing doors, little things around the apartment so things are ready.
I actually helped with the inspections. So I get here at 8 o'clock. I usually check my emails, get with my partner Mary. She helped me do the move-out inspections. And so we started going floor by floor. We started on the 4th floor and had to work our way all the way to the 1st floor.
Hand me a screwdriver. And on top of all of this, the office workers are still trying to get new leases.
I still have to stop and approve leases, like after I finish, you know, working on keys and stuff like that. So we still have to be functional because we want to get to 100%, but I mean, we want to get as close to that as we possibly can.
It's just one big giant juggling game, like she said. We got to keep doing everyday stuff and then also add all this craziness on top of it.
It's a very calculated process because we have to do it in such a small time frame.
Move-in day marks the official end of Turn, and employees are finally able to get back to their normal schedule.
It's a major relief. It's a major relief because usually we work anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks nonstop.
When it's all over and we get to meet new students that, you know, that come from different countries that move in, that's my favorite part, to meet the new kids.
I know we love our jobs. It can definitely be stressful, but without our staff, you know, all the way around, everybody on board, we couldn't do it. So teamwork makes the dream work.
Well, employees say they start preparing for Turn as early as January.
Well, many of those students who have graduated and are now finding it hard to adjust to the real world and finances. 46% of millennials rely on financial assistance from their parents. While it may be difficult to juggle all the expenses by themselves, there are some strategies to help make it easier. Financial planners like Scott Ferguson says the sooner that millennials start thinking about their future, the sooner they can save money to afford it.
Think of it kind of like a 70-30 split, right? So you want to take 10% of that to go do something that you want to do, right? You want to save some, right? So set 10% aside for your future, and then put 10% if you're going to build up that rainy day fund, your emergency fund, start putting it into there. The other 70% is probably going to be allocated to things that you're going to have fixed expenses for. You know, house payments, car payments, student loan debt is a big thing for a lot of graduates.
Here's some other good advice. Ferguson suggests setting up automatic payments to help pay those bills on time and not using the designated money for other things. Well, we're 1 week away from primary elections in Mississippi. Next Tuesday, August 6th, voters will be choosing leaders for statewide and local county offices. If you plan to vote absentee, the last day to do that in person is this coming Saturday. Circuit clerk's offices will be open from 8 a.m. until noon. Now, the deadline to vote by mail is Monday. The polls will be open on Election Day from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And remember, you must have photo ID to vote. All right, coming up, the bad news. School starts back next week. Good news, some kids are already geared up for it. We'll take a look when we come back.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Andrea Self.
Welcome back. Well, that back-to-school feeling is in the air. Today, dozens of backpacks full of school supplies were packed and distributed at the Early Childhood Academy on the EMCC Mayhew campus. 100 brightly colored backpacks packed with paper, pencils, glue, and all other items that children need for the first day of school. Many of the children who came in to pick out their new bag had big smiles on their faces as they gear up for school in the next few weeks. First day of school, of course, next week, I believe. Teachers even had their own bags of supplies to help them get started. Parents say with supply lists getting longer, any help they get, they appreciate it.
You know, it takes a little stress off of us, you know, as far as having to pay for everything, you know, trying to keep up with the bills and everything. But it's very beneficial, and we appreciate it a lot.
We want to equip children to have the best possible year, and that really starts that foundation, having their supplies on that first day of school.
Not only did the children get stocked up with school goodies, there were even some treats at the giveaway. The school supplies for students were for students in kindergarten through third grades today.
Some of us got a good soaking this morning. Rainfall totals anywhere from 1 to 4 inches of rain here in parts of the area, but some of you didn't even see a drop of rain today. Spotty storms this time of the year. Your full forecast is next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All right, our time lapse is from earlier today. It's not Friday, but you know what? Psychologically, maybe it already is. Oh, mental lapse here. Forgot to change the title. But we have seen some clouds move on through. Also, a few blips on radar. A few showers and thunder showers this afternoon. One little blip there just to the northeast of Ackerman that's left over from a batch that was west of Starkville earlier. But in general, not really a lot going on in the Golden Triangle area. You go north of Tupelo, closer to the Mississippi-Tennessee border. There's Boonville, Jumpertown right here. A few showers still dancing in the air along with some clouds. So that's the lay of the land right now. More numerous activity back to the northwest and to our southwest. And we have a weak frontal boundary coming on into the region. It's really not going to do much, but as long as its presence is around here today, tomorrow, maybe Thursday, a change for some of these pop-up showers and thunder showers, primarily during the heating of the day. So we've got temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90 outside of spots that have seen the clouds and the rain recently. Jackson only 73 right now, 78 in New Orleans, but 89 in Little Rock, 86 in Birmingham. Over the next couple of days, average highs right around 93, 92 degrees, give or take, and we'll be close to that here. Lows around 70, so pretty typical weather for the next few days here. Lows tonight, upper 60s to low 70s, variably cloudy. There may be a stray shower or storm that could linger later on tonight, but most spots will not see it. Your Wednesday, we start out On a fairly quiet note, low 70s here at 7 o'clock, pushing 90 in many spots by noon, 88 degrees. The forecast high somewhere around 90, but there will be a chance for some of those showers and storms. Odds are a little bit lower for rain farther to the north towards the Tennessee border. Slightly higher odds for one of those pop-up showers and storms somewhere down here across our southern and eastern areas, including West Alabama too. So don't be surprised if you see a shower storm tomorrow, but also, don't be surprised if you remain dry for the next couple of days, because the nature of the beast right now is some spots get wet, other spots may not see a storm for a while. But again, there may be a shower storm later tonight, but a better opportunity as we get into the daytime heating tomorrow. On a scattered basis, I can't tell you where they're going to be right now. That's just random luck wherever these things happen to pop up this time of year. And same story for Thursday too. That's the way we're looking for the near term. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. So a chance for a pop-up shower storm tomorrow around 90, 91 Thursday, 92 Friday and Saturday. As we get into the weekend and early next week, another chance for some of these pop-up showers and storms in the warm and humid environment. But this is typical as we get into early August. Again, tomorrow's the last day of July and August begins on Thursday.
A busy road in northern Lowndes County will be temporarily closed tomorrow. Cal Steens Road will be closed to all through traffic from Highway 12 to Anderson Grove Road from 8:30 in the morning until 12:30 in the afternoon. Drivers who normally travel that stretch of Cal Steens will need to find an alternate route. All right, coming up, the high school football tour checks in with the Winston Academy Patriots. See the preview coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
The high school football tour rolls along with Academy Week. We're making a stop in Winston County. The Patriots of Winston Academy are ready to hit the ground running, but are also focused on taking it day by day. The Pats are stop number 37 on the high school football tour.
WCBI's 60 Schools in 60 Days is brought to you by Sparklight.
Winston Academy is keeping it simple. The Patriots are looking to improve.
This year, what I've seen is kids finding a way. Something bad happens, instead of ducking your head and dealing, just letting it go, letting it slide, finding a way to make things work.
That's the biggest change Bert has seen since taking over as head coach last season. Bert saying that mentality is necessary to continuously compete.
Got to be an us against the world mentality, because I think it's been, maybe 07, but 8 to 10 years since they've made the playoffs and had some success. And, you've got to find success in other areas right now and build off of it.
We're just trying to change the work ethic, and, we've had a tough schedule the past few years, but we can't use that as an excuse anymore, and we just got to work harder, and we've worked really hard this summer.
The Patriots are aware of the reputation they've made with opponents in years past. This year's team is determined to teach a lesson when they step out on the field to expect the unexpected.
Oh, we love it. We want to be the underdog. We're just ready to show up and prove them wrong.
We've struggled with offense in years past, and everyone's receivers, running backs, linemen, all trying to learn the offense and just buy into it.
Going into 2019, Winston Academy is keeping its confidence high, knowing if they believe they can accomplish good things.
We're hoping to come out and show everybody what we've been working on this summer.
Football's football, and these kids want to be successful. They've worked as hard as any group I've been around. They listen, they want success, and they just need some good things to happen to them early.
The Patriots will get their start against League Academy on August 23rd. With Winston Academy on the high school football tour, Courtney Robb, WCBI Sports.
60 Schools in 60 Days with Winston Academy was brought to you by Winston Medical Center.
Academy Week continues all throughout this week. Oak Hill Academy coming up tomorrow for your Wednesday. The Winona Christian Stars hit the tour on Thursday before we wrap up Academy Week with a Columbus Christian on Friday and Victory Christian on Saturday before getting to East Webster and Eupora on Sunday and Monday. If you've missed any of the stops up to this point, go over to our website, WCBI.com, or to our social media accounts at WCBI Endzone on Twitter and Facebook. Another day, another Bulldog named among the NFL's best. Yesterday, we talked about Houston native Chris Jones being named to the top 40 by his NFL peers. Another former MSU defensive lineman makes it higher up the list. Philadelphia Eagles and Yazoo City native Fletcher Cox named the 28th best player in the big leagues according to his peers on the NFL Network's top 100 players list. Cox has been a Pro Bowler the past 4 seasons and racked up a career-high 10.5 sacks in 2018 en route to a first-team All-Pro season. That's it for sports. We'll have Alaska forecast coming up next.
All right, here's our 7-day forecast. We have a few storms that could pop up tomorrow, really the next couple days, Andre. You know the drill. It's summertime. It's almost August. We may see a spotty storm at any time. Warm and steamy, average temperatures, more or less. There you go.
Can you believe it? You said almost August. It is almost August.
Tomorrow's the last day of July.
It is.
School's here next week, and then Christmas will be here before you know it.
And just start all over. That is the news at 6. Enjoy the rest of the evening.